Welcome to the Jira Life, the place to find news, events, and interviews with the Atlassian community's movers and shakers. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life chose us. Thank you to Revyz for backing us up and making the Jira Life possible.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
We have a guest.
We do.
Am I a mover or a shaker?
Is there ability to be both?
I'm sure. Like if you walk, you just sort of do this at the same time. That's probably offensive.
I mean, my understanding right now, anyone around the Pacific is pretty much a shaker right now.
I mean, I haven't been shaking lately, so that's pretty good.
I don't know that I know how to shake. I'm more of a wiggle myself.
That's a fair, yeah.
Although Shakira was in town in LA this week.
We never were meant to be together. Hey, Matt.
Special shout out to our sponsor of the episode, Revyz. Thank you for backing us up. And we also have a couple of other announcements that we want to make today, don't we, Brian?
We do. My goodness. We have a lot of things happening. So we'll start with the biggest one and we'll work backwards because I want to make sure. Alex and I have been working on, along with the Jira Life and the Atlassian Community Events Los Angeles, but primarily the new Atlassian Admins Alliance Group and Atlassian Community writ large, a brand new conference called the Atlassian Builders Summit, which will happen here in Los Angeles area at the Hilton Long Beach from October 22nd to the 24th. Alex, you want to tell people more about it?
Yeah, I was trying to get the website, but I'll get the URL so y'all can sign up. But yeah, we're going to have a 3-day event. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have an exclusive giveaway to people that show up. The Big Book of Atlassian is going to be the only place to get it is at the event. And so make sure you start booking your flights. The event's completely free. You just need to worry about your travel and hotel, but we are going to be offering a discount on hotels. So more information coming very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. But do hit up the website to RSVP, which I'm going to get very shortly here and put it in the chat.
Yeah, I got it. I'll shoot it over to you.
I got it. I have this thing in like 30 different places, and every time I lose it.
I know. It's wild.
I'm like hunting for it in 20 different locations. That's the first event. And
that's the big one. What we have coming up in just a couple weeks, actually, literally 2 weeks from tomorrow, we have coming up AI Summer Camp with Atlassian Rovo, also here in Los Angeles at the Hilton Garden Inn LAX Los Angeles Airport, which seems like a lot of words to put after Hilton Garden Inn. But it's going to be running from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on that Friday in person. We've got an incredible lineup of the very first AI agent solution architect from Atlassian, the head of solution architecture, one of the customer success managers for the strategic division, somebody who came over from Loom as well, and then another person who has background building Copilot as well as working with other really large big data sets and teams. So all of those folks are going to be there. Alex and I are going to be there. We're going to be it's just going to be an incredible day of people learning about AI and how Atlassian has built AI into its platform. And particularly in the afternoon, we're going to make sure that everybody who wants to can walk out having built an agent. Whether it's code or it's not with code, we're giving you enough time to build your agent that you want to build so that you can take it back to your company. So sign up.
I thought you were going to say we're going to make sure we all go outside and like see the planes land, but
I mean, we are hopefully going to have a reception outside if it's not too windy, and then you can watch the planes land.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to come for the weekend and stay, get a taste of what you're going to get when you come back in October. We have a really incredible hotel registration deal right now running for $125 per night from Thursday night through to Sunday night. If you know anything about LA, that's an incredible deal to stay in a brand new top to bottom renovated hotel at the airport. So come on in, have a great weekend, bring your flip-flops and your tank tops because we're going summer camp all the way, baby.
Yeah, Santa Monica Beach is what, 15 minutes away?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yep.
Pretty close. And Disneyland, Universal's probably what, a good 20-minute drive.
Yeah, You know better than I do.
Yeah, Disneyland's a good 30-minute drive south. I'm personally taking a group out to Disneyland, so we'll be at Disneyland on Saturday.
If Alex has an opportunity to go to Disneyland, he's going to Disneyland.
I'm taking it. I'll
Yeah.
be there tomorrow. I'd be there every day if I lived closer. But yeah,
I hear
sign up
that.
to both events. Sign up to one. We'll see you in either a couple of weeks or a couple of months. We're very excited for these, though.
Absolutely.
All right. Aside from that,
I think we got one more, and we just want to say a quick thank you to Susan, who signed up as a YouTube member last night, apparently right after our live stream where we were covering the ACP 420. I think her official rank there is a bit bucketeer. Just so you know, Susan, we did not have time to modify the video at the end, so you're not on there yet. But we did want to say thank you.
yeah, thank you very much.
Susan comes to the Atlassian Clinic almost every week, and she's a really great participant and has given us some really great things to work on, which I think we're going to get to talk about some today as we think about, oh, look at that, Matt, it sure does, as we talk about automation.
Member for 11 months. Does this
Damn, Matt.
Yeah, thank you all for your support. You help keep StreamYard is so freaking expensive.
It's all, man. Oh my God, it's so true.
So expensive.
So at the Jira Life, we make nothing from it. Anything we get from sponsors, anything we get from you guys goes back into making the show. So this would not exist without your support. Absolutely. So thank you.
I still have to harass Rodney and Alex to see if I can. What we can do is we'll start to build in bundles where you guys can subscribe to both the Jira Life and the Atlassian Clinic at a discount.
At a discount.
At a
I
small
don't know that
discount.
YouTube allows that, do they?
I don't know. But you can
I
get
don't
privileges
think they
on
do.
both sides.
I mean, that would be cool if they did.
Yeah, because
Why is this not a
even this
thing?
with the Jira Life, this Jira Life is under my personal email, and it still goes like I have ATEC in one track and the Jira Life on another track.
It's so complex the way they make you do it.
It's crazy, and switching it around. We've been trying for a year to switch it around to the Jira Life email. It is crazy. YouTube, for as long as YouTube has been around, it's almost as bad as other tools that we use that rhyme with Gira.
Nobody's been upset this week about Gira at all.
No, why would we? I literally came on to StreamYard and I told Ronnie, I'm like, I hate Loom so much. I am trying to edit a video and I am dependent on, the audio waves to clip. I got a flat line on the audio clip and I am talking. I'm like, how does this help me? I need to find my breaks in the words so that I can clip where I need to.
You mean like when you exported the video, or you're working in
within the editor within Loom.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, okay.
Don't
fair. But that's fair. So hold on. I'm saying, oh yeah,
sure.
because that's fair.
The tool should work.
Okay. Yeah, it should work. You're right.
I hate Tim says.
Me too, Tim. I hate and I love.
I like how
And Jira, I'm just kind of ambivalent about.
I like how here he's logged in with the wrong account because Sean at least himself is a member as well. So we're starting to see a lot of green here. We got Lacey, we got Matt Dorr who's showing off after 11 months.
I can't spell.
Susan.
But it's really fun because I definitely logged myself in now as work better, which is super confusing, but
Right, I think my username for my main YouTube account is just also the Jira guy.
You are nothing but the Jira guy.
All
I
right,
have the Jira guy, and then I have also the Jira guy.
Okay, I get it now. Took me a minute to catch up.
Ronnie's very creative. All right, so talking about creativity, let's see how creative are we going to get with automation rules today?
Oh, I mean, we can get real creative. Again, I built one of the wildest automation rules ever with Susan on the clinic a few weeks ago.
I'm going to share my favorite automation rule story here. Because we got a new member. Member. Look at that. They're just becoming everybody sign up.
New members. Come on, new members. Matt, script runner.
So I'm going to share my favorite story. I am a C's get degrees kind of guy. And I've
Oh,
always
yeah.
been a
Hell yeah.
I've been a very mediocre performer. I don't want to say my entire career, because I actually used to try really, really hard. But in 2015, early 2015, I had an episode at work where I pulled out a 17-hour shift, and my senior manager scolded me because our servers went down, and it took me 17 hours to fix it. And it was very depressing. And the person that managed the help desk, they got all of the praise for managing the help desk. Meanwhile, I'm over here, sweating bullets like it's never been sweated before, trying to fix this dumb thing, because every hour was $500 an hour.
Whew.
And I got in trouble. And that was the day that I learned that if you work really, really hard, you're only going to be remembered for the mistakes you make in life. And so immediately after that, I became a C's get degrees guy. I'm gonna give you just enough. We totally went into the office space, right? I gave you just enough effort to not get fired.
It's one of the reasons Alex now works for himself.
Right. No, not necessarily, but yeah, a lot of it. But the reason I'm sharing this story is that I got an opportunity to work with somebody that was uber smart, like PhD level smart. And one day we were working on an automation role, and I forget what he was trying to do, but he was trying to do something very simple, like link the parent and a child in an automation rule and do something, right? And this was before Atlassian fixed the parent-child hierarchy to make it simple. And so this automation rule was like 60. He used up the entire 60 actions that you can take to try to do something so simple, like update the status, or update the the status of a child or something. And I looked at it, and he's like, "Hey Alex, can you help me out with this?" And I'm looking through this, and I'm like, "What the heck am I looking at?" And I asked him, like, what's your intention with this automation rule? What are you trying to do? And he's like, "Oh, I just want, whenever the status of the epic change, or the status of the child goes to done, I want the epic to change too." I'm like, "Oh, then do this branch thing." And we condensed that 60 rule check that he had to like 3. And so this is spirit of the reason I want to share that story, right? Is because there's so many different ways to do the automation rules, but keep it simple is my favorite way, because you can get really, really, really deep into the weeds of like, let's try to find a clever solution to solve a problem, but sometimes like the easiest answer is just right in front of your face.
Oh, yeah.
I've got this one story. Again, this wasn't even when cloud was as popular. This was when Automation for Jira was still on server. This was like 2017. We had this PM did not trust his team at all. He wanted things explained down to his entire deal. His team's objective was to set up and install servers in the data center. And he wanted to have the instructions down to turn screw L17 1/4 turn to the right. So what he did was he had a main automation that's set up that when you made an epic and you hit a particular setting on a field, it would go and create all the stories. And then as those stories were created, each one of those stories would go on and trigger another automation, would then create all the subtasks. And some of these stories had 2 or 3 automations because there's just so many subtasks on them that had to be created. I think each epic he was creating like 150 ish or work items.
I will tell you, Ronnie, the moment that I discovered that little checkbox in the automation rule detail that lets you like cascade or trigger like a domino effect another automation rule, I was like, holy moly, this is like the greatest thing ever.
I had to pull him aside and go, "You have heard of Confluence, right? Because these instructions should be in Confluence."
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, so I think, a great example of this is this one that I was building the other week, where we were trying to build. Let me tell you my favorite story here. Better story. The time I went to the hospital on New Year's Eve, because I had spent like a year in the suburbs of Chicago running a client, and was supposed to be in charge of these 2 people who also reported to the same guy that I reported to. As a contractor working in there. It was terrible. And I lived like a mile away, so I could just like wake up at 3 a.m, and if I couldn't go back to sleep, I would just go into work. And it was when I got put in the hospital for my first ever anxiety attack that I said, you know what? like Alex said, please get degrees, my friends.
Mhm.
Like, I'm just not going to work myself to that point ever again in my life.
I was gonna say, I thought we were gonna have to retitle this video of like how an Atlassian automation rule got me ended me up in the hospital.
Oh my gosh, no, not
You know,
this.
it's probably going to be a short.
Workers' comp.
What's
that
tricky
one
is when
time
you
that
start to the danger, and this is what I ran into, is like, you know what happens? They send you to the hospital when you start combining automation rules with Jira APIs at the same time in Jira. That's when you end up in the hospital.
I love automation rules though. I think I've always been into scripting and I've always been into like automating things, and I love the simplicity of automation rules, but I'm always surprised how much more powerful these things get like day to day.
Mhm.
Like the other day I was working on this automation rule where I needed to create subtasks and then link them back up to the parent. But I discovered that you have the branching rule, right? So you can branch out and do based on the newly created item. You can then start doing things on that newly created item. But what was really cool is that I'm like, okay, so I need to get the parent though from up above. But I found out you can literally put the parent into a variable and then send it in downstream and then start referencing a variable so you can save it. Because once you go down weeds, you start losing things because the scope changes, right? It's very easy to get lost in your scope of where you are if you're branching inside your automation rules. So I thought that was like so cool that you can put things into a variable and then send them down and then use them down in your branches.
I love it.
Alexa, order 10,000 cans of beans. Anybody else getting advertisements from Alexa Plus? I am not ready for Alexa Plus.
No, because I don't even have Alexa.
Yeah, well, Alexa 1.0 it's so sad what she
Oh
can't
yeah.
do.
Oh, do you have Alexa 2.0 now?
They have Alexa Plus.
Right.
She's supposed to be smarter, but I don't know. I still have a bad taste for Alexa 1.0.
Gotcha.
She was never good enough. But automation rules tend to work from time to time. I'll also share another story of one of my favorite automation rule stories was when I found out that you can use smart values to like compare dates and stuff. And when I learned the curly brace, and then when you put like the hashtag and you can start doing arithmetic in the automation rules, my mind was blown. I was like, holy moly, this just unlocks so much potential and so much power with automation rules. And so I can't even imagine what you could do with Forge, Brian, because I've never even tried going into Forge with an automation rule.
And well, it's brand new. Actually, Forge automation actions are still in EAP. So they haven't
EAP,
been
the one that we don't touch here because we've been burned too many times. the very same one.
Well, that
For
one's
those who are either listening to audio or maybe not aware, they're talking about the early access program, EAP or
No, Brian said it best.
Oh no. Well, I mean, I think it's okay for like Forge stuff because you're not shipping. Like you get to choose whether you ship it. You know, like you can be like, okay, I'm building this thing and I'm testing it but it's very hard. One of the problems with early access programs with Atlassian in general is like, I don't have enough traffic on any like sandbox that I have. I'm not going to get a bunch of users to do extra work in their sandbox to tell me whether this thing works. And I haven't yet
it is just to get people to test and upgrade that know is coming. Like you got to deal with this sooner or later. It's either you do it now or you discover it in production, and they'll still wait.
Oh my gosh, yes. My favorite is when they still wait and then they go, how dare you? And you're like, we gave you so much time.
I will tell you that after the UI change, Atlassian has been way more diligent, and I've seen more emails come out about, hey, changes are coming, folks. Changes are coming. They're coming.
Amazing. Yeah, so I mean, I think the EAP, because you can control where you can test it, and because you're building something, like you're under control of what it's going to do, and you know what you want it to do and test. And we could get into, I mean, if we're talking about automation, we could talk about the fact that you can automate testing of Jira. Mm-hmm. I mean, our favorite person who's not here today, Rachel Wright, could tell us about that. She's written some pretty cool stuff about automating Jira testing. It's all harder in the cloud, though. Because Atlassian
Especially when
only
they
uses
change the
certain
UI so drastically.
things. Should we call that the UI?
I love phonetically sounding out my acronyms. I had a project, we called it CDPR, and I always just called it cadaver. It
Yes.
sounded so much like cadaver. It was like the death project. I love sounding out things. It's my favorite.
Love it.
One of my favorite things to do. But yeah, ooey, and gooey. I take it then if we had to go and debate whether it's it's what is it gnome and
JQL or
genome?
JQL?
No, JQL. There's the GUI and what's the then there's the GIF and the GIF.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess we're aces. We used to be aces. Are we ACs or are we ACCs now?
Ack.
And that's it. That's like too much to do.
Are we talking about ACES or as in Atlassian community events or ACES as Atlassian certified experts?
Oh, that's so true. Oh my gosh.
Overloading their acronyms. We got a question here from Tim Braxton. Do you turn on notifications and let automation rules take over just to cut down on some of the noise?
Turn off notifications. Okay.
Do I not know how to read?
Do you know how to read?
I recently started turning off notifications on automation rules, and I started changing them from like notify me when they fail to just don't do anything. Like I don't want to know. Just work when you work and don't work when you don't work.
I really depend on this screen test a lot with my automations. I'll turn them on silent and I'll wait for someone to complain when they're broken. Because if it's broken and they're not complaining about it, it's not used and it's not my headache.
That's fair. Yeah.
I will tell you one of my newer features that Atlassian implemented on the automation rules after the whole usage fiasco of 2023. When did they roll them out? When was that you can now like control who can create automation rules? Because that was a big needed feature.
Especially because what you would do is that you would like go ahead and start to like everybody in a project could like do it, and it was no good. It's no bueno.
And then the enterprise customers, though, I think those are the ones that are still spoiled and have it the worst because since they still have unlimited automation rules, like we got to share stories about what's the worst automation rule you've seen. And I'll go first.
I mean, technically, I've already gone first, so
here's one of my pet peeves. Those templates. So when you go to each Jira project and you see the templates to make an automation rule, well, everybody's gonna make an automation rule that is from the template just to try it out, right? Well, now you got like 100 projects running 100 rules of the same one just because they tried one of the template ones.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Like there's got to be a better way to manage that one because that's slightly more annoying than not.
Yeah, it really is. Like, okay, what if friends, we just did it this way? What if? Yeah, it's kind of like
imagine there was like a global setting that you can do and just have one automation rule run on multiple projects.
I just want to know why we can't like. It's like why can't I have, why can't I give people like a free dummy project? It's like personal spaces.
Why isn't that a thing? Then no, you know why? I know why. Because if they did that, then they would have no reason to market Trello.
Do they have a reason to market Trello anymore?
I don't know. I personally think Trello is not needed because you can just do a business.
You know, if we say that word one more time, we may summon Brittany Joyner.
Oh my gosh, here she comes.
Trello. Brittany's got to get reception. She's in the camper life now permanently.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
I don't know. I was reading the messages on Slack on how she's in a 35-foot camper. I'm like, shoot, I got a 3,500 square foot house. Imagine if I reduce that by like a factor of 100. Then I don't know that I'd be able to live inside 35 feet. That'd be a lot.
Yeah.
Well, 35 feet is just how long it is. It's got another dimension or two too.
Yeah, but you're not going that much that way, dude.
Yeah, tiny houses are weird. Tiny, like I don't know. What always is wild is it always seems when you go inside them that there's like a massive amount of space somehow in the pictures.
In the picture,
But like, then
Pictures
it's
are
not.
deceiving.
It's so deceiving.
I wouldn't be able to live in that life. Like I think, and I live in such a great state to do that, but I don't know. I need multiple monitors. I have like a wall of
So Alex said, "This is my only concern: is that I need multiple monitors." He said, "If I
He
didn't
needs
need,
a whole
you can
recording
get
booth.
you can get foldable monitors, Alex."
No. You need that good 5K resolution on these.
Oh,
Liz needs an entire electric grid.
I mean, how else are you going to run the servers?
I mean, we ran out of power. Or sorry, not we ran out of power, but we had a power outage, a planned power outage that we didn't read the
You
letter
had a
about.
plan outage that you didn't read?
Yeah, we didn't read the email about it. This is not at work, but at home. And we have two very large F3400 Anchor batteries with like 4 extension batteries. And so we just brought those in and plugged their stuff in.
I thought about doing that. I have solar, but I never go for the backup with the power. But we bought a little something just to try to power the internet and the refrigerator.
I mean, you could always just go back to stealing power from your neighbor.
I've never stole power from my neighbor. I don't know why Andy.
The 24-hour live stream would say differently.
It didn't happen. I was trying to use up all my power that was left.
Chad, if you remember the 24-hour live stream and Alex stealing power from his neighbor, put it in chat for me, please.
Let's not do that, Chad. Let's not do that. Chad, if you want to see us do a cook-off competition, let me know. I think we should be cooking while doing Jira. So, Brian, why don't you show us one of your fancy how to do an automation rule with Forge?
Oh, okay. That's really funny because you're like, Brian, show us how to do an automation rule with Forge. I've never fully built an automation rule with Forge, but that doesn't mean we can't right now. I have a bunch of skeletons that I've just never pushed because I get scared.
In no time like the present.
Apparently not. Let's go.
Why is everybody like, I was not stealing power. I had my own solar that I was trying to use up as much as I could because I was moving out of that house.
Okay.
I will tell you that the electric usage from that house in San Diego to LA is like so extreme because I only used to have like 11 solar panels and I would use like 40% of my electricity. And now I have 31 panels and I use up like 99% of my electricity. And I move the stuff over. Like damn pools take a lot of juice.
That they do.
And my car, I drive it a lot more now because I have somewhere to go now. That takes up every Disney trip. I have to charge up my Tesla.
Oh no!
Come on, computers. Oh, the Finder has decided.
Oh, and we have to run the AC because it's 102
that's
degrees
Cursor.
right now.
That's frozen. There we go. Okay, here we go. No, that's Warp. Man. Oh, Claude and Cursor have crashed. Woo! The AIs are dying.
Has anybody tried to use ChatGPT or Claude or any of them to help you make an automation rule? And has anybody actually succeeded with getting a successful automation rule? My pen is green.
Alex, there's a hole in your forearm.
This is so cool.
That's too funny.
This is cool.
Okay. What? I don't understand. Yeah, sure,
Brian, this is all for you, man. Come on.
I know it's terrible.
Bad.
I know. I'm trying to like.
We're waiting for Brian to figure his life out.
The problem is computers are bad, man.
Oh, look, the green icons are also see-through. I want to remind you that the
I didn't notice that earlier.
Yeah, the Big Book of Atlassian will have.
Oh, you know what we're gonna do? I know
automation rule tips and tricks in it. So make sure you come by and sign up for the summit happening October 22nd through the 24th, so you can pick up your free copy of the Big Book of Atlassian.
Okie doke, here we go. Let's actually, you know what we're going to do, friends? We're going to start from scratch. This will be fun. Well, it's going to be a nice, easy way to do it because we do have access now to GPT-5.
Yeah, it just came out.
It surely did.
Let's not make this one an Alex Discovers.
No, this one's already in Alex's covers. Bob's already back clipping it.
Bob
Sigh.
said, if anybody wanted an example of navel gazing, they should just go back a few minutes.
You guys are mean.
All right. We'll just start here in
Also,
Word.
Bob rewinds. Is rewind still even a term online in the digital era? Do we rewind things? I do not know.
No, not really.
So we're going to start by going into right here, code stuff projects, JavaScript, because that's where I keep all of
You
my
call it
for
code
this.
stuff?
Yeah, that's code stuff. Yeah, that's where my code stuff lives.
And I see you're a camel case.
Yes.
I
Well,
learned that
that's not camel case is camel. Yeah, I guess that's camel case. Oh, look, cursor finally reopened. That's fine. We'll use that in a moment too. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to do Forge. We want to start with Forge login.
in the chat, let me know if you ever had to rewind a VHS tape. Drop an emoji if you ever had a rewind. Drop a bigger emoji. Drop a $ sign emoji if you ever got billed for not rewinding your VHS before returning it. And then drop a question mark if you have no idea what a VHS is.
Okay, so now that we're in here, what we're going to do is we're going to go Forge create. All right. Oh, my version of the Forge CLI is out of date. Well, it's not that. It's not that out of date. So we're going to go anyway. We're going to call this TJL automation.
Eat.
What do we have? Automation Action UI Kit. That's what I want to do.
Does Alex know the show's demographics? I am trying to learn the show's demographics, Brian. I mean, Sean.
So good old Forge is going to download everything nice and easy for us here. I'm going to go see if Atlassian has something on their site that's like I can just paste it in and we'll make it work.
So what they're doing right now is creating a folder and putting a bunch of stuff in it.
It's downloading all of. So this is the thing. This is the thing I've been talking about with you and Lena about what we have to be careful of at our event. Is it's downloading all of the node packages that it needs. So it's downloading all of the installing the dependencies. It's also creating environments so you get a production, a sandbox, and a development environment in the cloud in Forge.
How do you switch between the three? Because I never, like, every time you deploy, I feel like you're just deploying a prod.
No, you're actually generally deploying to. So this is the tricky part: is the environments in Forge are not connected to the environment like site. They're not connected to sites,
but they eventually get deployed to a site.
You install. Yes. So you do not deploy to a site. You deploy to an environment and then install to a site.
Because English is hard for Atlassian.
You're so mean. But
I only bring this up because I'm a little bitter from last night. We were doing our study session. Apparently, there is a significant difference between delete and remove, and a significant difference between add and invite. Which to me, they're not that significant, but to Atlassian, they are. Enough to cost you a point on the test.
That's an old. I'm just taking a look at what it has us doing here. This one that I'm looking at here is basically just doing a product trigger. It's not what we want to do, but like automations are effectively triggers. So you can, I'm just trying to see if somebody has actually taken the time to build one of these things.
Somebody use Forge to create an automation rule versus Rovo Studio versus the normal way we've been making automation rules for a few years now?
Because you want to do something that you cannot do out of the box. So I can't. A great example of this is maybe you want to. So I worked for a client and we were building onboarding and offboarding automations into Azure and using Azure runbooks. And the way that you authenticate with Azure Runbooks in Jira today is a UI-based authentication, which means you have to be the same person. Like you have to be the person that's setting up the automation rule to log into Azure as well. So it's an interactive authentication. What you could do if you wrote an automation, your custom Forge automation action to call a runbook in over in Entra is that you could just basically write an automation action that used a secret that you stored in Forge secret storage. And then that automation could be available to anybody with the permissions to use automations. So you could run it under, like they would all get run under a standard service account.
Can we interrupt you real quickly to talk about some breaking news from Atlassian?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how breaking they are, but I thought this was interesting. They closed out their quarter and $5.2 billion in revenue, generated $1.4 billion in free cash flow. And this is the one that stood out to me, which I think is relevant. 2.3 million active AI users monthly. How do they measure this? Like, are we talking Atlassian Intelligence folks or Rovo folks?
Well,
I
that's
imagine
not
both.
that's also not where the divide is anymore, really. It is Rovo and then everything that's AI.
But 2.3 million.
2.3 million people that are using AI features inside of Atlassian's products, which
This has been a frustration point for me for years, where Atlassian comes out with these amazing sounding statistics, but they give you no indication of how they came to that number.
Does anybody know?
Y'all know that everybody does that?
I mean, yeah, and I call everyone else out on it too.
Sure, I'm just saying, like, that's what they get to do.
But how many monthly active users do we have in general? Like, is this 2.3 million out of 2.5? Because then that's impressive. If it's 2.3 million out of 200 million, then that's less.
Well, you would have to go look at the quarterly results report.
Well, this is the end of the quarter, so
well, that's just a slide, but not the full.
Yeah, no, but
if
there was going to be a quarterly results one, it would be now because this is the quarter.
Yeah. No, I'm saying it's out there probably. No,
Josh is saying total number of users for active sites with Atlassian Intelligence.
No, he's just making that up. He doesn't know.
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
No, my expectation is the way that they're measuring it is people who are using AI features, because again, I don't want to say Atlassian Intelligence, I want to say AI features, because a lot of people think Atlassian Intelligence is just that thing that you ask to summarize or to write weird things on Confluence. But when we talk about AI features, we mean everything from AI summarization to things that have like JSM virtual service agent to Rovo agents that are using AI. But what that does not include is things like Rovo search. Like if you have AI turned off, yes, you can use Rovo without Atlassian Intelligence enabled, actually, and I can show you.
You can't go the other way though. So you can turn off Rovo and just have Atlassian Intelligence.
No, you can turn off Atlassian. You can turn off AI and have Rovo enabled, because Rovo is what they have rebranded Rovo to be what your it's all your search pieces.
Yeah, because I know that recently, like I was working with somebody and they had Rovo, but they don't have approval for Rovo, but they have approval for Atlassian Intelligence, and so the UI actually absorbed all the Atlassian Intelligence mentioning, and everything just went to Rovo.
I think that it's actually flipped around now.
But this was like a week ago. So unless Atlassian,
I mean, let me show you. Well, it's also, I mean, is it possible that maybe, and this is not to knock on anybody, but that you got a little confused? And I only say that because it is confusing. Because let me show you what we see in the one Atlassian sites here. I can also go in. I could also go to a client production site, but
whenever you want to share.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Ready to come. No patience, this guy.
Okay, so if I go to, here we go, and we go settings, and then we go to AI settings, there's Rovo and AI enabled apps. And you want to see here, so What is AI? So there are AI-powered Rovo features, and there is Atlassian intelligence. But you can have Rovo without AI activated. That includes search, bookmarks, and Studio, asset hubs, and automation. So Studio is part of Rovo now. And bookmarks and Rovo search, where you get the third-party connectors. When you turn on AI, you get Studio chat, like the agents chat, out of the box agents, answers to knowledge cards and search, and definitions. So this is where so AI for your apps includes Atlassian intelligence and those features.
Mm-hmm.
So I can remove AI from all of these and Rovo will still be around. If I go to Rovo, I can.
Right, but I wasn't. So that was Bob's argument. I was almost arguing the inverse. I was saying you can turn off Rovo because when Rovo's turned on, all the Atlassian intelligence nomenclature gets absorbed by Rovo and it becomes just Rovo search, Rovo summarize, Rovo.
So here's my question for you. Show me where you can turn off Rovo.
That is a policy that you tell Atlassian you want it off.
So most people cannot turn off Rovo.
You can apparently when you have enough money to tell them to turn it off.
Right. So yeah. So what Atlassian is saying to the rest of the world, to the public.
Wait, if you hit that ellipses up on the top, you can't opt out of Rovo?
No.
That seems dumb.
No,
not every company. But not every company is ready to take on Rovo. Or
what is Rovo? What is Rovo to you in this case?
It's just AI.
No, Rovo. This is what I'm saying. Rovo is not AI. Rovo is, you can do Rovo without AI. In other words, I don't want search, bookmarks, and Studio.
But I would rather take AI than Rovo. I don't want Rovo.
You don't get to.
But
that's the new thing they've done.
I want to.
Why? Why would this is what I don't understand. Why would you want to take what part of AI, what part of Rovo don't you want?
The part that it talks to everything else. I don't want any of the connectors and I don't want
You don't have to use the connectors.
Even internally, I don't want it. First of all, it's still unbaked software because it doesn't work.
Third-party search connectors are not unbaked. They've been around for years.
The Rovo itself, try building an agent, and
agent is different than third-party search.
No, I know. I'm saying Rovo in general is half unbaked. I'm saying two things together very fast.
Okay.
I don't like the third-party connector. I don't want it to search anything else. I don't want it to search consoles. I don't want it to search even within Jira. And second, if and when I try to use Rovo, it doesn't work.
You don't want Jira to search in Jira if you're in Jira?
Not that way.
Why?
Because I don't trust it.
Okay, that's your problem. and I say that way because I just would I can go and list and I only say this because enterprise search has been around for 10, 15 years. You ever heard of Glean? Company that does the same thing. Amazon has the same thing, which is an enterprise search layer where they basically have connectors into a bunch of things and they index all of your information.
But you opt into it.
Yeah, you have to. That's the same thing here. You opt into.
Except you can't now.
What do you mean? You can't. You can opt.
Rovo's on. You said Rovo's on for general.
Yeah, but Rovo can't. This is what I'm saying. Is if I go here, there's no connectors. So you control whether anything else is connected. If you're saying that you don't think that search should work across Atlassian products, which is the only thing that's left at this point, if you don't add any connectors, what Rovo is effectively universal search across Atlassian products and Studio and bookmarks. So you can add bookmarks at the top of your search. That's Rovo without AI and without adding connectors.
And so the only thing then is that you can't turn off Rovo at all. What if you just didn't want any of that? Standard the only option?
Well, right. Yes. But again, my question, yes, but I think that most users would say, my question would be, why wouldn't you want enterprise search
I
across
I
your
don't think
products.
it's a matter of I don't want it, because I do want it, even if I'm like a business owner, but it's a matter of compliance and the due diligence process that takes forever to certify Rovo.
So here's the thing. Rovo, with all of this disconnect, like this is effectively Atlassian searching within its own cloud in your instance. That's all it is.
And they should have just not given it a different name. It should
Well,
just be search.
but part of this is that I mean, yes, but what was this originally? Rovo was the AI branding. Now they're changing it to be AI is AI, and Rovo is just these other pieces, because I think they figured out exactly what you were saying, which is that it's confusing.
And companies do not want the AI part on.
Some of them, yeah, absolutely. And you work with a particular set of companies who probably feel that a lot.
Regulated industries, man. I don't touch the stuff with like a
Well,
50
yeah,
foot
here's the
pole.
thing though, like Rovo, fully SOC 2 compliant.
Until it's not.
That's not. Listen, nothing is SOC 2 compliant.
No, because everything is on paper, theoretical, until you get hacked and then bad things happen.
Yeah, that's light. I mean, yeah, okay, then just take all the computers off the internet.
I know. Just what do you think? I took my first cybersecurity class and I came home and I turned off the internet. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "We're never going on the internet ever again."
Yeah, I mean, security, Bob. When you say security concerns are paramount, sure. So, but like, absolutely, security concerns are paramount. Security concerns have always been paramount, except for all of the time when companies constantly choose convenience over security, which because security concerns only matter until the CEO or the CFO say, "I want this thing," and then suddenly security doesn't matter anymore.
I've seen that too many times in my career as well.
And ultimately, what we're doing every time we buy one of these products or we go with one of these companies is that we're saying we trust their security. That's what we're doing.
Until we don't.
Well, right, exactly. And then if you don't trust it anymore, then leave.
Yeah.
But like, I guess my point is that like Rovo is not somehow hosted somewhere differently than everything else in Atlassian's cloud. So like, it doesn't have a new security posture, especially when the AI is not involved. Like now, when you have the AI involved, absolutely, right now, queries go out to OpenAI's own hosted models.
Right.
You know, one of the things that Atlassian has an EAP for, that they're working on is there's a switch where you say basically do not send anything out, only use Atlassian hosted models. Because I do understand that one. Like, yeah, you don't want to go outside of Atlassian's cloud. Definitely understood. You have vetted Atlassian. You haven't vetted OpenAI.
Right. But these things start blurring quickly.
They blur the yes. GCP is actually an incredible cloud. Like GCP for AI especially, like Google is light years ahead of everybody else. And their workloads, like, and nobody does cloud security better than Google because it's Google.
Well, folks, I got some bad news for you. I'm gonna have to tag out or tag team.
Oh, you gotta go?
I gotta jump, but Bob's gonna take over, and I'm sure he's ready.
Bob's gonna get me in line on AI.
I'm not going to get you in line on AI.
Let Brian have it.
I think that's kind of a really, really interesting point. So,
well, and it does keep changing. Like that is the hardest part here for people. Is that Atlassian can't figure. I mean, and sure, this is the whole industry doing it, but Atlassian, to some degree, there was a period where Atlassian felt stable. We were annoyed that they weren't doing more features, but
I mean, depending on.
I think you hit the wrong remove there, Alex.
That was I totally thought that was me. So I'm sorry.
There's a reason why we don't let Alex near the controls.
I am so sorry, Ronnie. That one was unintentional. Sorry. I was trying to go for me. I'm relaxed. My mouse to remove.
You go like this.
That's so funny. Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Doing good.
But I mean, if you're on a particular platform, and I'm sorry to my data center brothers and sisters out there, you're still in that stable phase where not much has been changing. So it's really platform dependent there.
Yeah, that's true. Though they did ship platform 7, I think it was, in the latest round of Confluence and Jira, and they have now deployed the connector, so you can pull things up into data center. But that does still imagine that like you have some cloud infrastructure, and not everyone does. I do think the funniest part is that people, like companies, really believe that they can protect their data better than it's like saying, well, I don't trust Apple to protect my data. I can protect my data better. My buddy, I promise you that whatever hard drive you have it in and whatever safe you put that hard drive in, Apple security is better. No, not everybody.
mean,
I'm not gonna
most
say go host it with,
organizations,
like,
maybe you're right, but I imagine there are definitely some organizations out there that have better stuff than Apple.
I think I think it's really just a matter of the industry, how the industry is moving. Where,
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, the cloud is somebody else's computer,
Right.
and so the driving force from on-prem to the infrastructure owned, maintained by somebody else, that took a leap, and that took a while for the critical mass to evolve to that leap. And I think LLMs are in that same realm, where you got to have that. Eventually, there's going to be that critical mass where you can trust the LLM to take your data, use it, and then dispose. Whether or not that it's doing that is really, it's on the onus of OpenAI. It's on the onus of Claude. That what they do with the data is we look at it and then we toss it.
Yeah, and at some point we're all trusting somebody, but like you are right. Like there is this thing where it's like each time this has happened, because there is this movement, and I know you guys remember it, I'm sure, private cloud, where you would be like, what if we could have what AWS has, but in our own data centers? And I mean,
that was a big thing from VMware before they got Broadcomed.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a company that's doing that still now called Oxide, relatively new company, but they don't call themselves private cloud because of how bad a lot of not how bad. I'll just say this, because Amazon grew at such a scale and had such a focus that it was really hard for anybody doing stuff in their own data centers to compete. And so when they looked at the performance against those two, and when you're VMware and you're still trying to sell to people doing your standard VM setups instead of something much more flexible, which is what all of this is, right? Moving to somebody else's computer was really all about how easily can I turn on and turn off resources.
Yeah. Liz and I can raps.
Oh, rack space. Oh my gosh. That was our first cloud provider with my fraternity. That's our first Atlassian instances were hosted was Rackspace. Yeah, it's really true.
So, I think we talked about all. Just to kind of put my producer cap on and say that as far as the topic goes, we did touch upon all three. We talked about most recently. We talked about Rovo as far as extending. We talked about Forge. We talked about we talked about automations.
Yeah.
One thing that I want to kind of throw in there is that there are the three streams, and sorry for Matt Dorr. I just realized there's other streams like PowerScripts / Script Runner, an external plugin, but that's probably the topic for another show.
Script Runner, it's its own topic altogether. But when we're talking about extensibility of Jira in particular, when do we bring up that the marketplace is a thing? I mean, it's not as customizable, but if you want something that you don't have to support when Atlassian makes some random changes to the APIs, again, that's what they're kind of there for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think this is something that it's really interesting that you bring that up, because I think one of the large changes that's happening right now is this push to enable more what we call, or what ServiceNow calls, citizen developers.
Mm-hmm.
So more admins, more users inside of companies who are advanced enough to build basic things. I mean, that's what the no code, low code movement was about in a lot of ways. And Atlassian got there a little later with automation overall, I think, than others did. But partially, I think what I have heard and had, is that the cost of marketplace apps has gone up.
Mm-hmm.
And until recently, there's one way you got marketplace apps, which is you pay for everybody to have that marketplace app in your company.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people internally, and I experienced this when I was at Sonos, they'd be like, how many people use this app? Why are we paying $23,000 a year for this app?
Yeah, we brought this very point up last episode too.
Yep.
And so I think that's why Atlassian has been pushing so hard to move to Forge, to give more options and opportunities to people. Because I do think that once you build your own app and figure out how hard it can be to maintain it, you look much more favorably upon your marketplace partners.
I mean, this goes in cycles, because we had the same thing on data center and server, where people were building their own apps and they realized, oh, wait, we have to maintain these. Every time Atlassian comes out with another major release, we got to retool this, rebuild this, use whatever the latest APIs and the latest Java is for, and then port that out and install that. Or we could just use a marketplace app where, again, it's like cloud. That part of it is someone else's responsibility.
Yeah.
Yep.
So these things go in cycles, and we'll see a lot of push for Forge development for the citizen developers, as you called it, Brian. Great term. Absolutely still in that. Sorry.
Go for
Not
it.
sorry.
I think the pendulum is going to swing. I think, right now, to use the resources for Forge are free, right?
Mm-hmm.
Atlassian is going to start charging. When they start charging, how many of those citizen developers are going to take a look at that and it's like, I don't know, maybe it's worth it to take a look at the marketplace.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out, because you are basically talking about economies of scale in that case. Your enterprises will likely be better served. Well, it's tricky. Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. The point, because in your enterprises, you're going to have more people who are going to be on your team that are hopefully supporting your instances, but at the same time, you're going to be more likely to reach a level of execution that might cost you overage, and you're going to have to pay for that yourself out of pocket. Where in a marketplace app, especially now that they've introduced the new pricing models, it's not going to be as big of a jump into a marketplace app as it was before.
But it's also the difference between getting something that's exactly tuned
Yes.
to what you need versus a one size fits most.
Yep. It's very true.
So, I mean, I'm all for the marketplace apps where that solution makes sense. Absolutely utilize them, save yourself the effort in supporting it long term. But understand, you're never, okay, I won't say never, but with very rare exceptions, you're not going to find exactly what you want 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah. Agreed. My recommendation when it goes to marketplace is look for marketplace apps that have their own APIs or integration points that you can use, because then you can get a marketplace app, and then if you need to modify it a bit, you can use Forge to do so. So then you just become the thin shim layer. You become the Confluence user macro. So the other place I think we're going to see Forge actually shine is in that exact place, because user macros don't exist anymore.
No, and I know there are people who definitely miss them.
We spent a lot of money having adapted this build apps for Sonos for that exact reason.
Well, we are at the end of the hour. Brian, as always, it's great to have you on.
Always honored.
Check out the CLC he's hosting in October. Check out the event he's hosting in August. Where else can people find you, Brian?
Well, every week on Wednesdays and Fridays, you can find me at my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@work-right, which is just a great name. But that's where the Atlassian Clinic lies. And you can also find it all on the Atlassian, ace.atlassian.com/community-led classes. But every week, Wednesday and Friday right now, we'll be adding Monday in a couple of weeks. We'll have Marketplace Mondays, and we have the Atlassian Clinic during the middle of the week where you can just come and you have questions. We'll work on them live. And then on Fridays, we do Forge Fridays, where Lena and I pretend that we know what we're doing, and we learn how to write Forge apps from other people.
I'm told I may have to teach Lena how to do YAML.
Oh, yeah, YAML is...
This
Just go into DevOps for a little bit.
tabs versus spaces. You're going to switch if you were on tabs.
Mm-hmm. But
Yep.
yeah, thank you for joining us, Bob. Thank you for subbing in real quick. And everyone, thanks for watching. Again, thanks for Susan, Chris for signing up this episode. And as we always say here, we didn't choose a Jira Life. Jira Life chose us. Thanks for watching.
Don't do therapy with ChatGPT.
Also that. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Jira Life. Our hosts are Alex, Dr. Jira Ortiz, Rodney, the Jira Guy Nissen, and Sarah, #IBelieveSarah, Wright. Our producers are Robert King Bob Wen and Lena Ortiz. You can catch us as we record this podcast live every Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on YouTube at The Jira Life. Be sure to join us and the other Jiramigos of the Peanut Gallery each week to ask questions, add your comments, and tell us what you're up to. If you can't join us live, you can still catch the replay on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell while you're watching. You can also find us as a podcast on Apple iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you think this podcast deserves a rating, it would be much appreciated, as it will help others discover the Jira Life. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life. The Jira Life chose us. Thank you to Revyz for backing us up and making the Jira Life possible.